Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever, poured a ton of resources into building something really powerful, maybe for your organization, only to realize halfway through you were kind of missing the blueprint?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is, well, it's more common than people think.
Right. Especially when you're working with sophisticated tools like Azure Data Factory, ADF, without that clear strategic guidance up front.
Exactly.
So today we're doing a deep dive into just that. How organizations manage to accelerate their ADF success, especially when they're operating in those really complex, highly regulated sectors like finance and healthcare.
Yeah, tricky areas.
Our mission here is basically to pull out the most important insights from our source material on this, sort of give you a shortcut to understanding that strategic edge.
And it's a really vital conversation to have. I mean, ADF, it's become such a foundational piece in the whole Microsoft Azure ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Its core job really is integrating, orchestrating, transforming data, often at massive scale, which is, exactly what modern businesses need for everything from just running smoothly to advanced analytics.
Sure.
But, and this is the key point for finance and healthcare, it's not just about shuffling data around.
Right.
It's doing that movement, that transformation with absolute precision, rock-solid security, and critically provable regulatory compliance.
Okay.
And that's where strategic consulting isn't just like a nice to have. It often becomes completely non-negotiable for real success.
That makes total sense. So ADF is powerful, we get that. But what is it specifically that makes implementing it so much harder, maybe riskier in these particular industries? Why isn't it just, plug and play?
Yeah, good question. It really comes down to a few big things that set these sectors apart. The first one, probably the most critical, is compliance and data sensitivity.
Okay.
When you're talking finance, healthcare, you're dealing with legal mandates, things like HIPAA, for patient data privacy,
Right, AirPod.
or SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley, for financial accuracy and accountability. GDPR for data privacy more broadly. These aren't just suggestions. They are strict, complex rules about how you must handle sensitive data, secure it, audit it, every single step.
And the consequences of getting it wrong.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah.
Way beyond just fines. Think about healthcare bad data. That could lead to a misdiagnosis. Real human impact.
Wow.
In finance, it could mean massive losses, regulatory smackdowns that can seriously damage an institution.
So how does a consultant help there? Bake it in from the start.
Exactly that. They help build ADF architectures where compliance is baked in day one, not bolted on later. That means things like secure integration runtimes, maybe self-hosted ones for on-prem data, encryption everywhere at rest, in transit, using things like Azure Key Vault properly.
Oh, okay.
Plus, robust governance detailed logging, auditing, data masking, making sure those pipelines aren't just functional, but totally auditable and trustworthy. It's often about proving compliance, not just doing it. Using tools like Azure Purview for governance and lineage becomes really key there.
I see. So it's really proactive design, making compliance part of the pipeline's DNA. Now, beyond just getting it right, there's always pressure for speed, right? Faster results, ROI. How does strategic consulting help accelerate things?
Right. That leads us straight to the second factor, speed and ROI. Without that strategic guidance, companies often get stuck in this trial and error loop.
Costly loop.
Very costly.
Yeah.
Burning time, budget, internal resources, trying to figure out the best way to design flows, manage security, meet the regs, all on their own.
And consultants short-circuit that.
Pretty much. They bring the advantage of having solved these problems before, many times. They come armed with pre-built frameworks, proven design patterns, even sector-specific playbooks.
Ah, okay. Tailored stuff.
Exactly. Not generic templates. These are refined through real projects in similar tough environments. It's not just about building faster, it's also about avoiding higher maintenance costs down the line because you use standard proven patterns. They often find quick wins too, focusing on high-impact data first to show value quickly.
So the benefit for you listening is you get to focus on the business goals faster.
Precisely. Focus on outcomes, get that value sooner, instead of getting bogged down in technical dead ends or reinventing solutions. It just dramatically shortens that time to value.
Makes perfect sense. Leverage that distilled experience. Okay, so we've got compliance, we've got speed, but then there's the data itself, right? Often it's coming from all sorts of different, sometimes really old systems.
Exactly right. That's the third big piece, data complexity. Just imagine trying to connect to some ancient banking system on a mainframe, spitting out weird formats.
Yeah, I can picture that.
Or trying to pull in and make sense of electronic medical record from 5 different hospital systems, maybe using different vendors, plus data streaming in from patient wearables.
Whoa. Yeah, that's complex.
Super complex. Disparate sources, different formats, batch files, streams, APIs, databases, all needing different handling and security.
So how do consultants tackle that beast?
Well, that's really their bread and butter. They have that deep technical know-how and experience to integrate these complex sources reliably. Maybe it's knowing the right specific ADF connector for a legacy system, or implementing advanced techniques like changed data capture, CDC, which in-house teams might miss.
Okay.
They know how to use ADF's data flows for tricky transformations without writing tons of custom code. They basically provide the practical path forward, giving you that peace of mind that your pipelines can handle the messiness and won't just fall over.
Okay, this is painting a clear picture. Let's make it even more concrete. Can you pull out a couple of those real-world examples from the source material? Show us how this expertise actually transforms a project.
Absolutely. Let's take 2 scenarios. First, healthcare. Imagine a big healthcare provider. They want that 360 view of the patient.
Right, the holy grail.
Exactly. Pulling data from EMRs, billing, labs, pharmacy, maybe wearables too. Goal, real-time analytics for better care, predictive insights, whatever. Without the right ADF expertise, it's just a tangle. Incompatible formats, security gaps, compliance risks everywhere.
That's a nightmare.
Total nightmare. But with a strategic consultant, it becomes a guided roadmap. Compliance checkpoints built in, pipelines designed to encrypt, log, track lineage automatically. They ensure it performs well with huge data volumes and can scale up as new tech emerges.
Okay, that makes a huge difference. And finance.
Okay, finance scenario. Think of a global bank integrating transaction data from like dozens of different systems.
Yeah.
Core banking, trading platforms, fraud detection, AML, all scattered. Strategic consulting here ensures those ADF pipelines aren't just fast, which is critical for finance, but also super meticulous. Logging every step, auditing every change for regulators, meeting super strict rules like Basel III or Dodd-Frank.
Complete transparency.
Total transparency and accountability. Building systems that are resilient, that can handle market craziness and huge data spikes without failing, preventing massive financial risks.
Got it.
So, what's really fascinating here is ADF is undeniably this powerful engine, right? Like a race car, especially in finance and healthcare. But just having the horsepower isn't enough.
You need a driver.
You need an expert navigator. Someone who knows the track, sees the potholes, plots the fastest and safest route.
That's a great analogy. It's not just building any pipeline, it's building the right one. Compliant, efficient, tough enough for these specific challenges, and that really is the role of that strategic consulting.
Precisely.
Making sure your ADF implementation isn't just, done, but actually built for long-term sustainable success in these complex worlds.
Couldn't agree more.
So this kind of leaves a question for you, our listener. Thinking about your own projects, maybe finance, maybe healthcare, maybe another complex area where are you building something powerful, but perhaps missing that crucial blueprint? How can you make sure your initiatives aren't just implemented, but truly guided for that long-term resilient success, especially when the environment is tough? Maybe consider the hidden costs of not having that navigator involved right from the beginning.